Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. In today's video, I'm very happy to say I have my good friend Ryley here in the channel, who was able to reach number 3 in the entire world using classic Logbait during the end season weekend. He was also able to finish top 20 in the world, finishing number 16. It was the only deck he had maxed on that account, so the only deck he could physically even play on top ladder. He's also able to reach top 10 on 3 different accounts, so very impressive stuff overall. So very happy to have him here on the channel again. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get right into the matches. Alright guys, so in today's video I'll be showcasing my good friend Ryley CR's, I don't know why I said Ryley CR, my good friend Ryley's games. He's playing Logbait on top ladder right now, and it's kind of crazy because he's pretty much the only Logbait player I know that's actually playing it. I think there's one other person called P.E.K.K.A who's a really good player, but Ryley is, you know, the best Logbait player in the world, undisputed, I'm fairly certain at this point, and he's like the only person high up with this deck. So yeah, just very impressive to watch him, and I just want to see how he's actually able to play this at the top level. I've really been enjoying, you know, getting my friends on the channel. Really good catch on that miner with the knight as well, keeping the princess alive, and he's actually going to catch that barb barrel too with the ice spirit, so you can already see some really good micro out of Ryley, and he goes for a princess the bridge as well. So in the right, looks like he's going to pressure both lanes. It looks like we are up against Balloon for the first match here with the Evo bats. Double princesses on the board. How is the opponent going to respond to this? Miner one side, bats other side, makes sense, but that's a really good start for Ryley, and again, all of that really just stems from the princess protection at the start. I did ask Ryley, you know, if I'm going to make a Logbait video showcasing your games, what kind of tips should I give the viewers from you as obviously the best Logbait player? And the biggest thing he told me was you should protect your princess. And so it sounds quite simple, and honestly it just is. Like, you saw that sequence kind of defines already how much value you can get out of princess, where you can really just, number one, kill anything with the right support on the board, at least support troops, and number two, you can get tower damage because princess at the bridge does attack the tower. So that's obviously going to entail catching miners, catching barb barrels on it, and just generally trying to utilize your princess well. I think a big part of that goes into spell placements as well. You know, if the opponent has a fireball, play the princess out of fireball range in the weak side tower, basic stuff like that. But I think that's one of the biggest fundamentals of this deck. As for what Ryley said, it goes for the knight to protect the princess. Actually works out. Look at that. I'm really surprised that worked out. He does let the princess die, but he's already back to a second one in the left as well, and logs the ice golem. I was thinking he might protect it even more, but honestly that was still pretty impressive, and the opponent does go for the first balloon here. And Ryley is playing with cannon, by the way. His last two cards are cannon and rocket, and honestly rocket is a really bad card right now. Like, you never see rocket, so pretty impressive in that regard too. Good ice spirit to keep the balloon in place to not take any tower damage, and princess the back in the left as well. I honestly think this is not a great matchup for Ryley because he actually is unable to have much air support at all. Like, he only has princess and rocket. Literally, you can see he only has one card that attacks air in his deck. He also has the spell rocket, but like, that's a -1 trade, and you don't really always have the opportunity to go for that. Although he has 3 princesses on the board right now, absolutely crazy. Evo Knight attempts to pick the miner up, and 1 princess is going to die. Great prediction ice spirit on those bats in the right. Evo bats are in the opponent's deck, so that's going to make things a bit complicated. But opponent goes for an aggressive barb barrel trying to attack the princess, and Ryley is going to punish that with a barrel right at the same time. So just good pressure and really good defense. Although we're going to have to see maybe a rocket on defense here in the right, because I don't really see how he can kill this any other way. Yep, rocket comes down, and log in the left, and then maybe, oh, he goes ice spirit on the loon, which is honestly fair. He does take some damage in the left, but he kind of did a good job of splitting his damage there. And again, I don't think this is a great matchup, just because, I mean, Ryley doesn't have much air at all. If he had a Tesla, it would probably be his matchup, but he's a cannon. So I really think the opponent does have a decent one here. The one big thing is that the opponent doesn't have a spell. Again, great knight catch on the miner. He's just really good at this for whatever reason. Like, he's obviously really used to it. Good ice spirit as well. I hope he doesn't take a hit here. Okay, he does go for a cannon to prevent that hit. I think that hit might have honestly cost him the game. And it's crazy how well he's been playing, but even one mistake just now could have cost him the game. We're probably going to have to see a rocket on this balloon. I don't think he's back to cannon that soon. Yep, good rocket. And princesses are going to die. So this time Ryley lets the stuff go, and opponent goes for prediction snowball, but it hits nothing, so that was pretty smart by Ryley too. And we are now heading into triple elixir, and he's been playing a very clean game the entire way through, so I don't think he's going to be in that bad of a spot. Opponent goes loon behind the princess tower, and Ryley could rocket that if he wants. He actually does, so you know, that's going to be a -1, but he gets tower damage for it, so why not, I guess. Second princess on the board. Opponent actually misses the princess with that miner, but second balloon is here, and you can see that's why Ryley pre-cycled a cannon at the start. He went for one to account for one lane, and that way he's able to cycle back to a second cannon for this other balloon. And this is very well controlled. Opponent is back to a third balloon in this one sequence, but I think Ryley is back to a rocket this time. He does just throw it, and that's probably just going to be a good game. Yeah, really impressive game, honestly. Evo Bats are going to melt to that Princess. And honestly, again, I don't think this was a great matchup for him, but he just showed immaculate control with the Princess. I think this just showcases how good Princess can be as a card, especially if used well. Ryley spamming the good game for some reason, but that's going to be a very nice win against an air matchup with Logbait Cannon, so very nice first win of the video. Alright guys, so Ryley's into the next match against an Arabic player, and you guys probably know him. I can't believe it took me this long to say, but he's also a really big YouTuber. Of course, you can see in his clan name, YouTube Ryley CR. I'm not sure what Meltdown means. Could be a Juice WRLD song, knowing Ryley, but we see a bowler and goblins. But yeah, he's the biggest, like, one of the biggest YouTubers in the game right now. I've known him for years. He's a really good friend of mine, and it was really nice to see his growth. But now he's literally like covering content on every single deck, basically like cycle decks, anything, and people really like him. So it's nice to see him get a following. So chances are, if you're watching this, you probably have like, I'd say, a 90% chance of already knowing who Ryley is, because I feel like most people who watch CR content have heard of both Ryley and Ian at this point. But yeah, he does upload Logbait on his own channel, of course. He does not need a promotion from me, but obviously you guys should check Ryley's YouTube channel out. I'll link it in the description below. And really aggressive Guardian coming down, and that's going to be pretty big damage for the opponent here. Really unfortunate start for Ryley. Actually wasn't paying too much attention to why that happened, but he's going to be down 2,000 to start this out, which is not a great sign, and it feels kind of bad because it's never a good feeling to be down this much against Goblin Giant, and Ryley gives the sarcastic well played. Goes for a barrel as well. That's going to get some decent chip, at least maybe like 2 stabs, 3 stabs, okay, just 2. Fisherman in the deck as well. The big question is, does the opponent have a lightning or a rocket? And it's going to make a big difference, because sorry, lightning or fireball. I don't know why this deck would ever run rocket, but I feel like lightning's going to make this pretty much over, honestly. And rocket might mean Ryley has a chance, but honestly, like, Ryley is not even playing Little Prince. Little Prince, most broken card in the game, or one of them at least right now. Ryley does have the Evo Knight, which is a super good card, but otherwise, you know, Logbait is just like not in the greatest spot. I play Expo. I kind of gave up this season because the deck is so unenjoyable to play, but like, it's just like I feel like Logbait is honestly in a similar boat, and I'm not a big fan of the Logbait matchup, but that doesn't mean I can't also respect like someone doing well with a deck like this in this meta, especially if it's played by someone like Ryley. Like, people like this, you know, Ryley with Logbait, I'd say maybe someone like Titan with Expo. It's just literally always a pleasure to get to watch them play the game, honestly. We do see an Ice Spirit to protect that Princess, very nice. Again, going right back to what Ryley told me, where it's all about Princess protection. We might see we can't even actually afford a rocket in the right, so what are we going to see for all that? That's a massive push. LP on tower, we see a nice log though, and a knight, but even more damage coming in. Oh my god, Ryley's down like 1,800. It might be over. Princess Bridge in the right because opponent doesn't have much, and he's going for a barrel in the left as well. Really smart. You can see what he did. He basically outcycled the Rage, I think, because the opponent... Well, did he go for Rage? I can't tell, but he outcycled him for sure, and that was really good pressure because he basically juked him out by going in the right and was able to get a lot of damage. And look at this Princess, guys. That's what, like 4 hits on tower now? This is why Princess is a win con sometimes. It's a mini win con. Look at that. Ryley's back in the lead already, and we see a nice barrel. That's actually going to be almost tower down. I think Ryley came back, guys. That's crazy because he was down so much, but he just puts together the best offensive sequences, you know. As a pro player himself, he is very good at card cycle counting and elixir counting, and he utilizes both of those to punish opponents. Obviously, that's a big concept when it comes to cycle decks and just generally this deck. Really good knight. If he went Ice Spirit there, I think it would have died to the Goblin Giant. He might have lost. We have to see a log 2, I think. He's not back to one just yet, though. He goes Goblins. I think he's back to log now. He's just barely holding on by the skin of his teeth. Log does come down. Guardian's going to come down, but Knight is going to be there in time, and he is alive. Rocket does not do enough. 2 rockets do enough. Princess Bridge gets caught. Beautiful prediction Fisher by the opponent. This is honestly anyone's game at this point, but Barrel is going to have to be responded to with a Fireball. Yep, anything else would. Not full counter. I think pre-place Goblin's full counter, but otherwise no. So that's going to be another Goblin Giant push. I think Ryley can defend this in triple, though, honestly, pretty easily. Anti-Fireball cannon placement coming down. Goblins are such a good defensive card, too. That's honestly one of the best cards in this deck. And beautiful pre-log by Ryley. Not going to get any damage, though. Oh, no, he is. That's enough. That's rocket range, so really good pre-log. That's going to win him the game. Very good comeback. Amazing gameplay by Ryley. Great job against Goblin Giant Bowler. I feel like that's kind of tough, but he did a great job coming back. Alright guys, found a game against P.E.K.K.A, and oh, this guy is playing Mortar. So there's this Mortar miner deck that's been running around recently, and I feel like this is going to be a really bad matchup for Ryley, honestly, because miner poison is traditionally pretty bad for Logbait. Like, I think you can just outdamage them, but this guy also has a log. Usually this deck runs delivery, but this guy has a log, which obviously hurts him even more, because delivery is just worse in every way against Logbait. I mean, it's a good counter to stuff, but log just does it for one less elixir, and it can hit the tower. So this is honestly looking like Ryley's going to have his work cut out for him in this match. Going to be a pretty tough one. Barrel Princess Bridge, though, and Princess Bridge is going to hit the tower. That should be 2 hits. Very nice. And I actually also asked Ryley, like, how do you know if it's a Princess Bridge or a Princess Back or a middle matchup? Like, you know, you can Princess the Bridge, but you can also save Princess for support troops, of course, or for helping out against support troops and on defense. And he said there's no hard and set rule where there's a matchup where, oh, you never go Princess the Bridge or never go Princess the Back. You always do a mix of both. But the traditional rule is against cycle decks, you want to go Princess the Bridge more often, and against beatdown decks, you want to go Princess in the Back more often. So hopefully that helps you guys out as well with some general tips. We might see a log to take all this out and protect his princess. Yes, we do. I was expecting one, because that's going to keep the princess alive and also just take the push out very well. And so the only way Ryley can really get damage in this matchup realistically is either Princess Bridge or really nice punishes, considering the opponent has a log and a really fast cycle. So there's no way Barrel should ever get damage unless he can bait out a log and get like damage with his own barrel, or he can like juke the opponent out, get their cycle to be so messed up to the point where they're just screwed over. Evo Mortar survived through a rocket, but thankfully doesn't get 2 hits. So I think one way Ryley's going to play this matchup, guys, against Evo Mortar, is going to be a -2 trade, but he basically has no choice but to rocket it every single time. Because honestly, there's just no point trying to mess around with that. Beautiful night catch on the miner. Look at this play, guys. Ice Spirit Princess high. That looked risky because Princess can die, but he knew the exact spacing, and that's going to kill the minions, and that is a very nice play, actually. That is going to do a great job of stopping that miner minions push, which looked pretty tricky to do. Pre-cannon comes down. We're going to see a log cycle on the mortar, maybe a princess to snipe it. We see knight the back, maybe predicting a miner. Goes goblins at the bridge. Okay, that should be easily picked up, though. Yep, Ice Spirit. And mortar is still at large, although this middle cannon has been doing work. Goes for another cannon, goes for the log, and we might see another Ice Spirit Princess Bridge. Or Princess High, rather. Actually, we don't need to see one. That was nice goblins to cut the minions backwards. And now Ryley does have the Evo Knight in rotation. Maybe he can make something work with this. Prediction miner. You will see one thing, guys. Ryley never really goes for a cannon right on top of the mortar. It is the obvious play. It is the cheapest play that you can do. But it's obviously going to be predictable, so that's why he's never just going cannon into the mortar. He's instead going for these low cannons. Nice that the goblins took that Ice Spirit out, and he goes for another cannon low, so he's just controlling this very well so far. Mortar is on tower, unfortunately. I think he just barely misplaced that. We see a Princess Bridge, maybe a rocket in the left, but he has to respond to this as well. He's going to be in trouble here, I think. Poison comes down. How is he going to do this? This looks like a really bad spot, dude. Okay, this time he has to cannon. It does get on the mortar because the opponent kind of let it go. But the whole point of that was just to juke Ryley out and get damage in the right. So he is going to have to somehow control this very well and out-damage the opponent in triple when the opponent has a little prince. Ryley doesn't have a champion in this deck. So we're going to have to see how Ryley can do this, because this looks really tough right now. We see the Guardian coming down, Poison as well. Ryley's going to do a good job of pressuring, I think. And he starts the rocket cycle. Okay, that is another thing with this deck. If you can't really break through, you can go for the rocket cycle. He's going to be down damage. It's like the only way he can really make something work. Great catch on the miner. Very important to catch miner as much as you can. And because of that, he's actually just going to be comfortable going for another rocket on the tower. Opponent, I think what he has to do is get a little prince down and then just start spamming miner poisons. He does go Evo Mortar to the bridge. As a Princess Bridge from Ryley comes down, log is forced out though, so we are going to see a barrel on tower. But this Evo Mortar, something has to come down. Cannon last sec, or Knight last second. Wait, he gets barrel damage because he was able to outcycle the log, or bait it out. Princess comes down. This mortar is going to be a problem, though. How is he going to stop this? Princess is going to die. He's like hanging on by the skin of his teeth right now. Ice Spirit Knight. Mortar's alive, but I think Ryley is alive. There's no way he actually just defended that in triple elixir. That is insane. And rocket on the tower last second to give him the win against a very hard matchup. That is so impressive. So Ryley just beat one of the hardest matchups, I would say, for this deck. Just incredible control and very, very talented stuff. I can't believe it. The guy had a log. That was ridiculous, man. Alright guys, Ryley is now top 20 in the world. He's number 19, and he's going for 3,300 medals against this Japanese player. We see an LP come down first play. Ice Spirit. Oh, this looks like Minor Poison. Another really bad matchup, I think. Oh no, it's gonna... Wait, what? It's gonna be the same deck. Evo, Mortar, LP. But maybe this guy has a delivery instead of a log, because... Again, that is more often used these days. I don't know why. I thought log was better. I guess it might be because stuff like E-Giant is pretty meta and delivery is better against like beatdown. Princess Bridge is going to get 1 hit. Okay, not 2. And minions are going to have to be controlled. Are we going to see a cannon? No, we see a barrel. Really nice to force a spell out. And then Ryley can just go for goblins on the mortar. That is so smart. Honestly, you can see the more... average thing to do there would be, oh, I see a mortar, I'm going to defend it, and he would just like gun maybe cannon or like spam stuff at the bridge. But Ryley recognized his opponent was low on elixir, so he went barrel to force a response, and then responded with goblins, knowing that they could get away with the defense. And it looks like the opponent does have a delivery, by the way, because I think Ryley knew he didn't have enough elixir for the delivery right away with that barrel, so he was actually able to just get damage, and the opponent just went Ice Spirit for the barrel instead of delivery because he didn't have enough, obviously. Even when it comes down to predict the miner, does not catch it, unfortunately. Would have been very nice to see. But the shield is still going to do God's work against those minion stabs. Almost like nothing is happening. And a barrel comes down in the right. So good dual lane pressure. We're going to see 2 knight hits on the tower. Although Evo Motor's in the building. Are we going to see a rocket? We are going to see a rocket. And maybe an Ice Spirit for these minions too. Or he's just going to let them go. Fair enough. I don't think he had it in cycle. So he's going to take a fair amount of damage back. Looks like that was the opponent's game plan. Just cycle to Evo Motor as fast as he humanly could. And he actually did that really well. Like, that was kind of impressive, honestly. 3,090... to 3,410. So Ryley's in the lead right now, and I feel like if he can beat the log matchup, he can definitely beat the delivery matchup, because I mean, there's, again, it only makes it harder that the opponent has a log. So if he was able to beat that, I don't see any way in which he's going to lose this matchup, even though, again, I don't think it's that great for him. Although I suppose the opponent not having a log does help him out a lot. Again, these princesses can do work. They have to get poisoned pretty much. And then the barrels are going to be really problematic because Ryley can go barrel and delivery has to come down, or maybe like goblins. Goblins can get pre-log though. So, you know, it's all a bunch of stuff that Ryley can try and manipulate to his advantage. We do finally see delivery come down on time. Gonna full counter the barrel. You have to have good reaction time, or you have to know they have it in the cycle. I usually prefer the latter. We see a nice miner. Probably going to see a poison on the princess too. I think the opponent was juking out that he would snipe the princess, but just went on tower. We see a princess bridge on the left, and maybe a log for those goblins too. Really fast reaction time by Ryley. As you can see, that is very crucial for protecting princess at the bridge. I mean, it does count as princess protection. Okay, he goes knight predicting a miner at the back, but unfortunately for him, the opponent does get it off on the princess, and Ken is going to come down goblins too, so good protection. And you'll notice Ryley is doing dual lane pressure again because he wants to switch things up. I don't think Logbait really wants to go same lane as the opponent very often, so it kind of makes sense that he's going to be trying to go opposite, because the opponent can get counter push value, he can get minor poisons and stuff like that. Again, we're probably not going to see a cannon on this mortar. We're probably going to see like log cycle, middle cannons that's going to snipe the LP. Princess to take it out is a very nice play. I suspected that would happen at some point too. We do see a miner on the princess, and knight does kind of catch it, but I mean, it's going to die to the mortar shot anyways. Although knight's doing God's work on defense there. Look at how much value that Evo Knight got. Evo Knight, honestly, guys, one of the best cards in the game right now. I feel like this deck, obviously Logbait's pretty bad, but this deck still has some pretty solid cards. You have the Evo Knight, you have the goblins, and I guess Cannon, Ice Spirit are also really solid. But obviously it's mostly to Ryley's skill level that he's able to achieve so much. We see a lot of damage pouring in on the right. I didn't see how he got that, but he's in like a 1,000 damage lead now. So I guess he's gonna pretty much commit to the right side now. I feel like triple is going to be more of a case of defense than offense. And a beautiful Princess Ice Spirit again. We saw that play last match too. That is so smart because it just kills the minions, and it's a risky play to do. It's kind of like when Ian, I used to watch him, he would go like Archer Queen the bridge against Sparky, who's almost approaching, and just go ability instantly to kill it before a Goblin Giant could come down. It feels like that because, you know, the Princess is going to die like very easily, but Ryley just barely gets the defense off in time. So it's really nice to see. Opponents catching up in damage fast. We're probably going to see some rockets come down soon. Really nice pre-log though, and that's going to be a good game, honestly. No way the opponent's getting damage through that. And again, not having a log leaves you susceptible to that, where he can go for a pre-log with his barrels, and that's going to clip the goblins, so gets even more damage. Even Mortar comes down, we can just see a rocket on that, honestly, or even just stall it out. There's enough time at this point. in the game. Just stall it out. And so much damage in the left. How did that even happen? Oh my god. He actually wins in the left, guys. I was not even looking. I was looking at the whole right lane interaction the whole time, but Ryley is actually going to win in the left somehow. So that is pretty much going to be good game. I feel like this was not much of a challenge for Ryley at all, but of course he still played out of his mind. But again, 2 Mortar matchups in a row. That is really nice. Alright guys, 3-3-1-7 in the world now against El Turista. Oh, Tourist is one of the best P.E.K.K.A players in the world right now, and he is playing P.E.K.K.A. So Ryley is, I think, like, I forgot what rank it was, but like top 15 probably, and obviously making it very high on ladder. We see an Ice Spirit come down, and Knight as well to protect the Princess. Right on cue with what he said. Again, Princess protection is paramount with this deck. We see another barrel, and Tourist goes for the LP in front and the Zap. There's a really good play Tourist can do, which is basically LP ability to full counter a Goblin barrel, but he's probably going to have to predict a barrel to do that, to get the LP in the right positioning. I feel like this matchup could go either way though. Obviously on paper it looks pretty good for Ryley because he has a cannon, he has a fast cycle, and I feel like traditionally Logbait would always be P.E.K.K.A Bridgespam, but now we have all these newfangled broken cards. We have the LP, we have the Evo Archers, and that's obviously going to complicate everything because LP just itself makes this annoying. Evo Archers too, I feel like they kind of make it tough because Ryley can't really kill them without like Princess plus Log or something. So P.E.K.K.A comes down from Tourist. Huge damage lead for Ryley going into double, but this is where the magic really starts because Tourist gets a huge P.E.K.K.A push coming, and I don't know how he is going to exactly stop this. Evo Archers as well split. That's going to be problematic. Probably going to see a poison on the Princess. Oh, really good LP. Look at that, guys. Prediction LP. Exactly what I was talking about. An ability does full counter that barrel. That was very well played by Tourist, I'm not going to lie. And, oh, Goblins push the barrel out of range of that cannon. We're going to have to see some last minute defenses. Whoa, look at the damage in the left. Oh my god, that's so much pouring in. But he's also getting overwhelmed by the LP Evo Archers on the right. He does survive in the right, but he took so much damage from that ram connection. And that was honestly kind of unlucky. Like, I don't think he did too much wrong. Just sometimes P.E.K.K.A ram interactions work like that, where the ram gets pushed out of range of your building and you just get screwed over. We see a bandit predicting a princess possibly. Archers the back, kind of a misplay because you want to go for them in the front. That's going to counter more. But still, you know, pretty good stuff. Ryley just always trying to lean on the barrel to get damage. This is not really a rocket cycle type matchup. This is more of a beatdown with barrels and pressure matchup. Another prediction LP. Looks like Ryley knew he was going to do that, so beautiful rocket and then barrel. Ability comes down, but it was messed up. Actually, he had to go for that either way for the Knight. That's going to be a good game, though. All Ryley has to do is cycle back to rockets. That was a good outplay. You know, trying to bait out an LP and then just rocketing it and going for the barrel later. This time he switched it up. He adapted. He does still have to defend this, honestly. No, he doesn't. He just goes rocket, just stalls it out. Very well played by Ryley. Against Tourist, one of the best P.E.K.K.A players in the world. Tourist gets a good luck, but that's going to be another nice win. And that's going to put Ryley number 8 in the entire world, guys. 3-3-4-1. This is honestly insane because he's also number 5 in the world on his Ryley account, so this is kind of crazy. We can see on the leaderboard too, but he's just doing insane stuff, and he's 10th on Takuma as well, so wow, Ryley's just popping off right now. Alright guys, I managed to get another game, so Ryley is still going. He's going for even more. He is, like, that was number 5, right, I think? Or he's number 5 on Ryley and he's like top 10 on Meltdown. But now he's going for another win against Akaza, who is like one of the top players in the world. I think he's like number 1 or number 2. Honestly, I have short-term memory loss. I don't even remember what he was at just now. But Akaza is going to be playing E-Giant. I don't know how this matchup goes. I saw Ryley lose this before, but I've also seen him win this before. So I feel like maybe it could go either way. I'm not entirely sure, but we will have to watch and find out. So basically, we're going to see E-Giant out of Akaza. He has E-Giant, Bowler. I think he has Evo Knight. Yeah, he's Evo Knight. I mean, it's literally right there. I don't know why I said I think. They used to run Evo Archers, though. But his last 3 cards are going to be E-Giant, Lightning, and Tornado. So he does have a fair amount of barrel counters. He has Barb Barrel and Tornado. Bowler can also full counter a Goblin barrel if played well. Princess Bridge by Ryley forces out the Tornado. We're definitely going to see some pressure. Yep, Goblins, barrel in the left, all sorts of stuff happening. And Barb Barrel for the left, so Goblins are going to get fully ignored. And then a cannon comes down to basically full counter this E-Giant with the help of an Ice Spirit, or a Log, both work. So that's just how Ryley was able to manipulate that situation. You can see cannon plus Log. It's just going to be a straight up +2 trade against the E-Giant. So he basically forced Akaza to play a bunch of stuff on defense, so he couldn't afford much to support his E-Giant with, and then he just got some damage in both lanes as a result of it. And later in this game, Akaza is going to be able to go for lightnings with his E-Giant pushes, so we're probably going to have to see a bunch more pressure out of Ryley, and probably some pre-cycled cannons as well, because that's going to be how he will outplay the lightning. Basically, you can't really do much against the lightning except have a second building in cycle. That's a quote I heard many years ago and it still stands with me to this day. It was a 2.9 Expo thing with Tesla, but it applies for this too. Wow, great Evo Knight. That's actually going to protect the princess, guys, because it takes the targeting of the lightning. Princess, Ice Spirit, Goblins at the bridge, crazy pressure on the left. That's going to be like 2 princess hits, and then another barrel comes down. The bar barrel is in cycle. Cannon, probably like maybe an Ice Spirit or a Knight, yep, for the bowler. You'll notice that he's going for these Knights on top of the bowlers, and the reason for that is because bowler plus Tornado can get the Knight on tower. That's going to be very problematic. So Ryley basically does not want that to happen at all, and he is going Knight on top. That's the placement you want to use against bowler when you are using a Knight or any like melee troop traditionally. Knight comes down by Ryley, and not much E-Giant pressure has happened so far. It's mostly been like Lightning Cycle, I think, by P.E.K.K.A, and bowler stacking. Probably going to see some bowler NATO attempts later on in the match, but Ryley's doing a great job of controlling this very well so far. Bar barrel as well, and I feel like Ryley's doing okay. Oh, great protection of that print. Look at that, guys. That's insane. He went for the Ice Spirit to break the LP, and then Cannon to kill it. But can he stop this E-Giant push is the question. He has to get back to a cannon. Really good Knight, as you can see. He doesn't even need a cannon. Oh my god, he just melted that E-Giant without a cannon. And what was that? That was a prediction lightning by P.E.K.K.A that hits literally nothing. I mean, it hit the cannon, I think. But it looks like it was a prediction cannon. And Ryley just waited so long and never really went for much. So he's kind of, as Ryley likes to say, he's kind of putting P.E.K.K.A on a tee right now. Because he is just controlling the whole pace of the match. Like, I don't really see what P.E.K.K.A can do here. We might see a rocket on the right, but probably not, because I don't think it's going to be... Yeah, we see a rocket on the left instead. Really good stuff. P.E.K.K.A kind of misplayed by giving him that value in the first place. You don't really want to give the opponent any kind of rocket leeway with this deck. Or against this deck, rather, because someone like Ryley, if he sees rocket value, he's going to take it. You saw he got rocket value on the LP against Tourist last time, so why wouldn't he take a bowler? We are now heading into triple. I feel like this is going to be a huge beatdown by P.E.K.K.A in terms of the push, but I feel like Ryley will have the defense on lockdown as well. Very good Ice Spirit. You guys will notice this common trend against E-Giant, where you go Ice Spirit plus Skeletons or Ice Spirit plus Goblins to basically allow them to get one extra hit while the E-Giant is frozen. Second cannon's in the building. We're going to see a third one pretty soon, I'm pretty sure. This deck cycle is crazy fast. Actually, yeah, there it is right there. Right on cue. And P.E.K.K.A's back to E-Giant, but I think it's over, honestly. He got like 0 damage from that push. It's literally insane. And he might just give up here, honestly. Yeah, he does give up, because how are you going to break through? Like, I think Ryley just controlled the game super well the whole time. You know, great protection of his princess, great predictions on those stuff, and also some good pressure and single elixir to put him in the lead. That's going to be a nice win against one of the best E-Giant players in the world right now, guys. And I think that might put Ryley in the top 5 right now, because that was a huge win. Yes, that's going to be number 3 in the world, guys. Look at this. 3376 rating points with like 1 day left in the season. So this is insane. Yeah, 1 day left. So this is honestly kind of nutty with Logbait. Like, that's crazy. And look at the leaderboard right now, guys. He has like 3 accounts in the top 10. He has Meltdown at 3rd. It's crazy how he's, yeah, literally 3rd with the highest with Logbait. He has Takuma at 8 and Ryley at 9. So 3 accounts top 10. 1 account top 3. That is insane. So Ryley is just popping off right now. I can't really believe it, guys, but I'm really glad I was able to record this stuff, because these games are honestly just out of this world. Alright, guys, I was able to get one more match. It has been a while since the last one, so I'm not sure what the rankings are like, but I was able to catch another one. I don't know why, I just really like watching like the best players with the best deck, or play their best deck. So, you know, for Ryley it would be Logbait. For Titan it would be Inferno Expo Cycle. I just like seeing that kind of stuff. So, like, I don't know why I decided to record this, because, I mean, I kind of know why. I love watching him play, and I love watching really talented people do their thing. But I'm really glad I did record, because now I can get a great video out for you guys. And we are against Hadi, who is one of the best Giant players in the world, but he's playing Goblin Giant, actually, because Goblin Giant's absolutely broken right now. We see the LP as well, which is not very surprising. I mean, LP is also one of the most broken cards in the game right now, and it is in every deck. Again, I think a very impressive thing about Ryley's run right now is that he's not using any champions. He's actually just using classic Logbait with Evo Knight and Goblin. So yeah, very good stuff. We're going to see a Prince coming down and a Fireball as well, but Barrel, again, just pressure. Archers come down. That's going to counter most of the Barrel, but not all. So yeah, like, this is kind of what the state of the game has become, guys. Broken Evos and broken cards make their way into every deck. You saw Tourist was not playing the classic P.E.K.K.A Bridgespam we all know and love. He was using LP and Evo Archers. Like, you would never see that before. I guess, I mean, Evo Archers make sense to replace Magic Archer, but like LP to replace EU is just because LP is a broken card. And for example, Hadi right now is playing Goblin Giant double prince, but he replaced the Spear Goblins with an LP, and he replaced the Bats with Evo Archers, because, again, it's just broken cards is what you want to use in this meta. Lets the LP lock on and then goes Cannon. I kind of like that play, honestly, because I think he did that on purpose to allow the Cannon to stay at full health to counter this Goblin Giant, and Evo Knight right in time to protect the Cannon. Honestly, looks like one of Ryley's rare good matchups. I don't know if it is a good matchup or not, because the opponent does have LP and Evo Archers. That could really change stuff. Really good Goblins to soak up that Prince charge as well. And Archers plus that, but still gets one barrel hit, because one really good saving grace for Ryley in this matchup is the fact that the opponent doesn't really have any good barrel counters. LP gets melted, double Princess is on the board right now, and Hadi's in a world of trouble. He goes Prince, and he's at 0 elixir, and he has a full health Princess going to work on the left, although Evo Archers will make quick work of that. Will we see a defensive Rocket? We might. We might not, though. Yeah, just a Knight, actually. And then maybe an Ice Spirit to take the Archers out. Or, yeah, we do. Okay, that's what I was expecting. And so, Hadi is up elixir now. You know, I was thinking, oh, Ryley's up so much, but to be fair, that was a big overwhelm, and Evo Archers were kind of forcing stuff out. We might see a defensive Rocket pretty soon, though. Maybe right now on the Goblin Giant plus LP. I wouldn't be too surprised, although it's pretty hard to hit that with that spacing, so maybe not. But I feel like we might need to see one at some point, because this is just getting a bit too much. You can see, though, Ryley is basically abusing as much as he can the weaknesses of the opponent's deck against his deck. So number one, he has no good barrel counters, so he's just going for constant constant barrels to pressure him out. Number two, he has no like good spell for the Princess. He's going Princess low. He's going Goblins. He has nothing to really kill the Goblins either. Like, and pre-cannons as well. You know, he does not mind if the opponent fireballs his cannon. It would be a bad play to do so, because he will easily get back to a second one very fast. So Dark Prince coming down. Might see a second Goblin Giant in the right pretty soon. I think that's what Hadi's going for right now. Gang comes down, but again, good pre-log. That's going to be so much damage raining in. And a second Knight. We might see a second Goblin Giant. Yeah, we do. I was expecting as much. But Ryley's probably back to a third cannon. Or is this even a second one? Is it his first one? I don't even know. But back to another one is the point. And yeah, I think this game is pretty much over, guys. Another great win by Ryley. He's not going to be number 3 in the world right now anymore. I think it's been quite a few hours, so he would have dropped ranks. But he's going to be up in medals, which is absolutely crazy still. So, going to see Princess getting damaged. That's going to be a good game. Just Rocket, and that's going to be it. So, another nice win against Hadi. And that's going to be it for the video, guys. I think that's all I'm going to record. But that's about it for Ryley's gameplay. Thank you guys so much for watching. He's a very talented player again. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.